Now, the first group of medical doctors is graduating from the University of Limpopo. The university had its first intake student studying medicine 6 years ago. Among the graduates is a student who was 15 years old at the time of admission. This is the first medical school to be built since 1994. Let's get more on the story. We cross live to SABC News reporter Pimani Baloyi. A very good afternoon to you, Pimani. Just tell us more about what's taking place today.
Good afternoon, Zinga. I'm in a very noisy place and I'm not sure I hear you clearly, but we are outside the Tiro Hall at the University of Limpopo, where we've just witnessed a graduation ceremony where a number of students graduated today. But among them, Zinga, was the historic graduation of 47 medical doctors who are the first group of students to study medicine here at the University of Limpopo. Zinga, as our viewers might recall, the University of Limpopo established this medical school in 2016, enrolling about 60 students. But today in Zinga, about 47 of them got their certificates and were certified medical doctors. Zinga, as I stated earlier, these 47 graduates in December took their oath to be medical doctors and started working as medical interns at various hospitals here in Limpopo and some in Mpumalanga, where they studied. They've started working as intern doctors. We are going to speak now, Nzinga, to the director of this school, Professor Samuel Risenga, about how this feels. Professor, today is a big milestone. Your first group of students are graduating. I'm sure you must be very proud.
I'm feeling very, very proud of it, especially the fact that, we were the first medical school to be established by the new democracy. We are very, very happy to have produced these doctors. They're actually working all over the country, all over South Africa. So I'm really proud of it. And also the fact that they are the first. The fact that they are the first people to be produced and to graduate. And most of them are working in Limpopo, although some are working all over the country, Cape Town, Northern Cape, and all over the country they are working there. We are very proud of it. And we are happy we produced a good crop of doctors.
And since 2016, Prof, what are the plans? I'm sure you've had to build new buildings to make sure that you meet the specifications. And now you've been able to take other levels of students. How is it going? How many students do you have enrolled here? And what are the plans to grow this medical school?
Yeah, at the moment, we are enrolling 60 students in first year. But from first year to sixth year, we have about plus or minus 400 students, 400 plus. The aim is to grow the school to such an extent that, in about 4 or 5 years' time, we'll be able to enroll up to 250 per student, per class, especially into the first year. But at the moment, because of the fact that we also have to, as we grow the school, the training platform in the hospitals has to be expanded to hospitals around Limpopo. But the plans are such that we're going to have a bigger school. And the other thing is that, of course, there are plans for building a new medical school at EduPark together with an academic hospital. So that's what we're planning.
And Prof, looking at this rural province, it's been a challenge. The Limpopo Department of Health keeps telling us it's difficult to attract specialists, specifically to work at rural hospitals. How do you think you are faring in terms of ensuring that this is catered for?
Yeah, actually, we have increased the number of specialists that are appointed. Mind you, if there is a medical school, most people would like to go and work there. Most specialists would like to go and work there. So as a result, we are increasing the number. We are also, by the way, also training specialists in various fields some of them will be graduating on Saturday. So in that way, we are really doing okay. The other thing is that normally when people train at a place, they tend to stay there. We are hoping that most of these doctors that trained here will either stay here, get married here, or marry here, and then not leave the province. Because it is a rural province, it's a poor province, it has got a high burden of disease. We need more doctors in the province. who are well trained.
Thank you so much, Professor. That's Professor Risenga from the University of Limpopo Medical School. Zinga, as you stated earlier, indeed, there is one of the doctors that were graduating here is the youngest doctor to currently work in South Africa, Dr. Mlambo, Decent Mlambo, who, when he came to this university, was only 15 years old in 2016. I'm going to be speaking to him now. Decent, you're one of the graduates. Take us through your story. How were you able to get to be an undergraduate at 15?
First of all, good day to everyone. And correction, my name is Decent Mkombo. Yes. Yes, I'm one of the first graduates from the University of Limpopo, and I'm also the youngest medical doctor in this country ever. And you know, that happened because I skipped a couple of grades through the law education, you know. And making our way to the University of Limpopo, you know, we were the first. We were the guinea pigs. We were unsure, we were uncertain, but they did us well. You know, there were some hurdles along the way. There was some turbulence. There was some bumps. You know, but we made it through. We passed very well in our institutions where we're working. I'm currently working in Mapulani Hospital. Our doctors are quite happy with us. Some say we're the best interns they've ever had. Goes to show that the effort that they put in here to establish a medical school paid off very well. And hopefully they're going to keep enrolling more doctors. They're going to keep bringing in people from rural areas that are going to serve the places that they come from.
I saw a few distinctions, some in gynecology. And so what is next now? Do you want to specialize in what, and what is the plan going forward?
Now I'm exposing myself to all different kinds of specialities. Some of the specialities that are there were not exposed to in university, you know, things like nuclear medicine, you know. I don't want to say for certain what I'm going to do, but I'm open to anything, and whatever grabs my attention and is available, I'm sure I'm going to do it. But I have to specialize. This country is in dire need for specialists who are going to serve the country very well and very specifically.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mkombo. That's Dr. Mkombo, one of the graduates who graduated here at the University of Limpopo. I'm going to be speaking to the Vice Chancellor to hear about plans to grow the university. Professor Mkhalun, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. Today, the first group of medical students have graduated here. I'm sure it's a historic moment and it's also a proud moment, but there are also questions. What now? Do you have plans to grow this? Some are saying you must also have engineering studies. What are the plans for this university to ensure that it produces graduates that are able to work in the market that South Africa requires right now?
Yes, it's true. Like there were all kinds of pleas and requests that can't you open the School of Medicine, the first one in post-apartheid South Africa, and here we are. We managed, we opened it, stumbled, we never failed, and today there they are graduating. And I was just speaking to one of them. They say out there, they really showing people that the University of Limpopo produces quality, and that's what we're all about. Well, going forward, yes, we will want to give ourselves a chance to grow the School of Medicine. And of course, there have been cries and everything. Introduce engineering. Engineering needs money. We're busy in conversation with mining companies, and I'm sure we will get somewhere there. Yes.
Thank you so much, Professor. That's Professor Mahlo Mokhalong.
With some of my students.
Yes,
hey, come and celebrate.
Yes, Prof.
As you can see,
yes.
The University of Limpopo, we are inclusive, we cater for all of them. There they are. There's Tabang, a young doctor, yes. And that's what we're doing.
Thank you so much, Professor. That's Professor Mahlo Mokhalong from the University of Limpopo, who is very excited about today's graduation, a very historic moment where the first group of graduates, of students who studied medicine here are graduating. Nzinga, I'll hand back to you in studio.
Pimani, Baloyi bringing us some much needed good news today. Thanks so much for that update on the graduation of the 47 doctors from the medical school at the University of Limpopo.